Web of Trust. Do we have any Web of Trust users out here? Sterling. Anybody else? Come on, you guys. All right, Web of Trust is another browser that you would install on your computer. And Web of Trust, what this does is a rating site. It's a crowdsourced rating site. So that you as consumers, when you go to pages that you find are trustworthy or reputable, you're rating them. Just a couple clicks and you put a rate. And what that will do is it brings the hit count up for that page. And other people who are also using Web of Trust will be able to see that this is a noteworthy, trustworthy site. The same thing goes for people who have pages that are nonsense. And you can rate these pages and rate them down, and what it will do is they'll get a warning if you have Web of Trust installed. Now, okay, you guys, there's one person in this audience that's using Web of Trust that I know of. 85 million people use Web of Trust. That's how many times it's been downloaded. Well, so maybe not all of them are using it. They maybe have downloaded it more than once. But 85 million people this is reaching. And we don't have 85 million atheists, skeptics, and so on out there on the internet that are using this. So these are people outside of our group that are using Web of Trust. And I'm not necessarily speaking, I'm hoping that you'll all go and install Web of Trust and Rebuttal to your computers when you go home. But I'm more concerned with the people that aren't necessarily tech savvy and maybe aren't really good at judging critical thinking, have the greatest critical thinking skills on the internet. And you guys all know who I'm talking about. Your family members, you probably all have several in your family that probably this applies to. I would appreciate it, the world would appreciate it if you would guard against non-trustworthy companies to be able to go in and maybe go to your family member's browser and install Google Chrome, would be nice. And then you can install Rebuttal for them, and you can also install Web of Trust for them. And then every time they're on the internet and they're searching for something that is, you know, you're kind of about, they're going to get these hits. And here's what a Web of Trust hit would look like. If you go to a Web of Trust page that has already been marked as negative, and you personally are not marking this as a negative site, Web of Trust is used for crowdsourcing, so it takes large amounts of people to repeatedly go in and say, no, this is not trustworthy, this is not trustworthy, this is not trustworthy, this is not trustworthy. And eventually they get the negative rating. So imagine that family member that you're thinking of. I want you to think of this family member who's not necessarily net savvy, who probably can use a little critical thinking. Imagine them hitting on a site. They go to their go to a website, and this is what they find. This is what comes up instead of the web page that they were looking for. Do you think this might have a little impact on that person's mind? Do you think they might say to themselves, I don't think I want to go there. That doesn't look safe. That looks really bad. Maybe I shouldn't go into this website. And what we're trying to do is steer people away from certain things. So again, we're not talking to the believer. We're talking to the fence sitter or people who are looking for information about whatever. Homeopathy is my example today because I thought you probably all know what that is. I'm glad. You can just click on this, go to the site if you want to go into their website and not have to worry about it. That's not a problem at all. They can easily go there. But you can see their rating on trustworthiness, vendor reliability, privacy, and child safety. And I don't know about you, but there's an awful lot of non-trustworthiness going on with Sylvia Brown's page, as well as homeopathy pages, and a lot of other sites. I'm sure you guys are very, already have a plan that you want to go to. So this is also what it would look like if you're rating on Web of Trust. You would actually click on the bar, either green or red, in whatever area you want to give the rating. And then again, you and all of your thousands of friends would also be rating these pages, and that's how we're going to get ratings. We also rate pages that are pro our side, because we want to make sure that they're strong and they're green and they don't get attacked by a paranormal site. Okay? This is what Web of Trust and Rebuttal would look like in a browser. Here's Web of Trust right there with a green circle. And this is Rebuttal right here on the side. So you can see that that's what it would look like in a browser. It's not obtrusive. It's something that you won't even notice it's there. So it's great. Okay. Guerrilla skepticism on Wikipedia. This This is what I'm known for right now. This is, I've been doing this for 2 years. How many people out here have been using Wikipedia? Thank you. How many people have used Wikipedia? This is July, right? How many used it in July? You know, look around you guys. How many have used it in the last week? How many have used it since we've been at this conference? Wow, okay. All right, give me some, somebody shout out a couple names of pages you've been to.
David Hume.
Okay, what else? Hume is good, I love him.
Running.
Who?
Running. I just looked up running.
Running?
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
It's a really good article.
Yeah, what else?
Tom Collins.
Tom Collins.
It's really interesting, by the way, where that drink name came from. If anyone wants to look it up.
Okay, great. What else? Somebody else?
I looked up theological on time and there's not someone mentioned it yesterday.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, did you look them up? Did you go to Wikipedia to look them up, or did you put them into a search engine and that was one of the first hits you got?
The second one.
Second one, but you went there, you saw them on, you put it like in a Google search and then you said, oh, there it is, and you clicked on the Wikipedia link? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Because that's what most people tend to do, I think. Some people do go to Wikipedia and that's just, they go there and purpose. But what we find is people are really accessing Wikipedia, and yet there might be problems with it. The benefit is that anybody can edit Wikipedia. The negative is anybody can edit Wikipedia. So we have our pluses and minuses. So I started editing Wikipedia. I have no tech skills. I am absolutely, no. I'm a photographer by trade. I'm a baby photographer, by the way. So I don't have any of these kinds of skills. I don't even use Photoshop. But I was affectionately named the Wikipediatrician. This is just a quick photo of one of the first articles that was written about me a couple of years ago. And we are trying to change the world, one mind at a time. We know that when somebody is interested in a subject, and or they've just heard a phrase, like you said back there, it's just somebody had said this phrase, and you're like, what's that? And you go and you look it up. We know that people are going to go to Wikipedia. We know this worldwide. Anybody has problems with Wikipedia, wants to start their own pedia or wiki, whatever, or their own whatever, that's fine. But their people aren't going to, they're not going to get the traffic that Wikipedia has already got. I mean, they're way ahead of us. Wikipedia is, how do I say it? It's just, it is, we're not going to get much better. I mean, we're constantly improving it and so on, but what we found is that our topics that we're interested in and our people aren't represented well on Wikipedia. We have to do something about that. We are the people responsible for our pages of our spokespeople. They can't write them themselves. And there's not some editor base out there that's just going, oh, gee, this person doesn't have a Wikipedia page. I think I should probably go write it for him because whatever. We have to take responsibility. Us. And the bigger us as well, as far as the role of skepticism, activism, political activism that we're involved in. We have to take responsibility for this. And we're changing minds all over the world. And you don't even know how many you're changing because you can't. Nobody's going to come to you later and say, oh, wow, I read this really great Wikipedia article, totally changed my mind. You don't hear that kind of stuff because there's no blogs, there's no comments, and so on for this. So I'm going to give the example of homeopathy because I like this one. Homeopathy, I think, should be taken down quickly. We need to get rid of this. This is ridiculous. But homeopathy is a page that universally, all over the world, there's a homeopathy page in almost all languages. They're not in the great shape that this one is. It has a huge history of homeopathy. It has a lot of references and a lot of things on it. It's a very long article. Almost nobody ever reads it. Usually the only thing people are going to read on a Wikipedia page are the first couple paragraphs. And then they're going to move on to whatever else is in their life. So I want you to imagine for just a quick moment, you're at work, you're at school, whatever, you're not feeling so great, and your doctor, or not your doctor, oh, I sure hope not, your friend says, oh, try this. This homeopathy stuff will work. This will take care of your asthma problem. This will take care of that pain that you're having. That nausea, homeopathy. This vaccine, homeopathy. This cancer, homeopathy. Okay? They fix everything. Your broken heart, your breakup with your significant other, homeopathy. Okay? Water and sugar work great, right? So, you're there thinking, homeopathy, is that some kind of natural thing? Because that's what most people think, some kind of natural thing. So they go in, they put in their search engine, homeopathy, and they find the Wikipedia page for homeopathy, and because we all use Wikipedia, they're going to go there. And go, well, I use my water. I have some homeopathy right here in this little jar of water. So anyway, so it's very important to get the important things that we need to get on the page. And this is a hard page to do, but we managed to get this one done. American Medical Association considers homeopathy to be quackery. That is on that first 2 paragraphs. That was a lot of work to get the word quackery in there. In fact, it might not even be there right now, and it'll be there tomorrow because we keep going back and forth because we're fighting homeopaths on this page to keep it in good shape. The scientific community regards homeopathy as a sham. That's also on that page, right there in the front. At worst, that homeopathy could be actually harmful. We wanted to put on there that it kills people, but we got harmful on there. So that's the best we can do at the moment. I know you're thinking, nobody's hardly using homeopathy, whatever. Why nobody's really interested in homeopathy? If I was to write a blog on homeopathy, imagine I was one of the most powerful bloggers in our community, or podcasters, and I wrote an article on homeopathy, in my opinion, that I just gave there. All these are cited, by the way, so they're not anybody's opinion, unless you want to take the scientific consensus as an opinion. But if I was to write a blog or a podcast or whatever on homeopathy, how many people in my head? How many people are going to view that? And I'm mostly reaching to the choir. So keep that in mind. Here's how many views homeopathy had last year. Over 1,447,282 views last year. They're only probably reading the first couple paragraphs. It's a lot of impact. It's a lot of people who are going home and having their neighbor or their friend or their workplace or their school student or their teacher saying, you know, homeopathy might work. Why don't you try this? And they're like, what's homeopathy? They're going over to this page to read it, to see what it is, because they need some information. Over 1 million people. This is English only. I don't believe that we should be only writing Wikipedia in English. I think Wikipedia is it's too important to keep to English only. So I have a team, and Sarah was right. I did have 80 editors. Now I'm up to about 120 editors, and I am always looking for people to recruit. And I don't go out actively and find people. People come to me, and I really would hope to find some people in this audience that might find this an interesting thing. We have a group of people that are editing Wikipedia, and we train, and it's great. We love it. I have 17 languages now working for me, and in the back of my shirt I have them all in here. We have Farsi and Arabic and all kinds of great stuff. German and Swedish and Russian and so on. So it's been an awful lot of fun, and I would highly encourage it for you all to consider this. And I have a couple examples to give you really quickly, but before I do that, what is it doing some weird things over here? You guys can't see that. Cool. You can't see that. I want to talk to you really, really quickly about one thing, and then we're going to talk about one last, I'm going to give you a couple examples of some things we've done real quick. Kind of upset